Peter, a lot of the players have talked recently about sort of, it starts with defense, and that's where they felt like they needed to really tighten up to turn things around, especially the second period tonight. I mean, how did you feel about the overall defensive effort in this one?
I thought we were a little slow out of the gate, if I'm being honest. I thought we got going and played a really, really good second period. I think defense is a big part of successful hockey, and I still think that we're looking to generate and create. It was some games, like I say this not just to say it, but I think sometimes certain games are played a certain way. This was not one of those games where there was going to be 85 attempts each. It was just tighter than that. They thought they checked pretty hard. I thought they came off the break. They had a couple practices. I thought they played a pretty strong game. And so it was tough to generate. I thought we did a good job from keeping them from generating. It was a low event game, and that was what was dealt. And so for that, I thought our guys did a good job defensively.
What did you like about the way that you were able to limit them? I think it was only 19 shots on goal, not a whole lot of extended offensive zone possessions it looked like for them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about, there's an attitude that goes with defense and time and space. I thought we did a really good job stick on puck in the defensive zone. They were trying to get off shot. We get a stick in there. They're trying to make a play. We get a stick in there. Just trying to disrupt things a little bit. And so, good job in defensive zone coverage. I thought we kept, for the most part, we kept the rush in front of us. They got behind us once or twice. But for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job of having numbers back.
Is your perception of Jimmy Vesey that he's a skilled player playing in a checking role, or he's a checker playing in a checking role?
I know Jimmy's background from when he left college. I know the type of player he was offensively. I think there's been even in my past teams, there's been lots of players that have been talented offensively and gotten accolades for offense that are now some of the best defensive players, and I've coached those players in the past, and I think that he's a responsible player defensively that thinks the game well, and I think that he could move up the lineup if we needed him to, and I know he did last year. There's a value to what that line brought to the table tonight. I thought that they were effective. They took probably half of their shifts against the Point and Kucherov. Kucherov started the double shift and they moved him around, but I think that there's a value in that as well, and everybody has the green light to create offense, but I do think that he's a smart, talented offensive player who's good at defense as well.
Can you just speak to the penalty kill coming up big?
That was huge. Yeah, I mean, they get the one there. Some things we could have done better, but they get the one and it shrinks. I mean, that's how close it was, and then you realize that they're going on the power play. You realize they have a really good power play unit, one or two really effective players on the power play. And I thought that we were good in zone with pressure. I thought that we were good off the rush through the neutral zone, just defending and disrupting right away and getting clears. We probably got 3 or 4 clears on that penalty kill, so we didn't spend a lot of time where we were stationary and killing and waiting for them to generate. I thought we did a good job of eliminating it.
When you came in the offseason, you obviously knew kind of what you had with Shesterkin, but as a coach, how important is it to have someone with the pedigree and skill set play behind him?
I think anytime you can have depth in your team and your organization, I think that that's a real positive thing. I think Jonathan's playing career speaks for itself. It doesn't need me to boast about it. And we're fortunate that we have 2 really good goaltenders here.
To your point, you touched on Jimmy's line getting a lot of shifts against the Kucherov line. Last game, I know, as the game went on, that McKinnon line, you were leaning more on Mika's line against them. No hesitation of going right back to Gaudreau.
No, I mean, this is listen, no matter what, not every night can be a gem for your penalty kill or for 5-on-5 or a goaltender or a power play, whatever it might be. And but I do think that there's roles inside of our team and there's responsibility and jobs, and you've got to put people back out where you think they can be successful, where you want them to be successful, and I thought that they were an effective line tonight. They did a really good job.
The thesis kind of at the start of the year was about playing playoff style hockey night in and night out. How important is it to play different styles of games in such close proximity on Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, I said that before. I think maybe even tonight. There's a game that's dealt, and you have to figure out what it is, if there's a team that's flying all the time and cheating and it's odd man rushes going back and forth, and you better figure out how to get into that game, play in that game, defend in that game. And then there's some that are just tight where you have to fight for a lot of space out there. And so that had a little bit more to a playoff field just because there wasn't a lot of room. There wasn't a lot of room to move either side.
Offensively speaking, there's been a couple games now where you guys haven't been able to score more than 2 goals. I think it's 4 in the last 12. Do you want to see the team a little bit hungrier to get second and third opportunities around the net?
Again, tonight, there's been, I was pretty honest about this morning, there's been lots of games in the past month and a half where we've had 80 attempts and 40 shots, 45 shots, lots of second opportunities and lots of rebounds, and we haven't scored. Tonight wasn't one of those games, and so I do think that we had some real quality looks, especially in the second, couple in the third. They got a good goaltender in net. That's a team that has a winning pedigree, and they weren't successful for the last 6 years by chance. They played a game the right way, and it just wasn't one of those games. But I like to score 3 goals or 4 goals, and that'd be awesome. I'm all for it.
Well, on top of that, obviously,
Right.
just seeing Brodzinski from that.
So that was a great goal. We talked about that between periods, just getting that second guy into the battle in the corner. I thought maybe we were a little bit slow getting in there, keeping that third guy relatively close in a scoring position, but it was the 2 guys in the corner that were doing the work. I think it was Blake and Kreids maybe in the corner working, pushing it back and forth to each other. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't clean, the work going in the corner, but it was hard work. And it was smart work, and eventually we got it, and they were able to make the quick pop, and he got it off really quick, and heck of a shot by him.
All right.
Thank you, guys.